Sorry, the bounce on the camera will stop in a second. How are we all doing today? If you're catching this on the replay, thanks for watching. Feel free to comment along. I come back through and check the comments often and try to reply and get back to you all as fast as possible. So today I'm working on, and as I put in the top, it's either an elf or a gnome. If you know the big difference, I would love for you to tell me in the comments, because I'm not quite sure exactly what classifies the difference between an elf and a gnome. But they're both adorable, and this is the time of year where it's fun to make them. So today I am using just my fine tip, not the extra fine, just the regular fine tip Posca pens. And we're going to do a little bit of blending with them and just make a fun little friend for this guy here. And really quick, while that's getting a little bit dry, I'm going to go ahead and get this shared into our group. I know a lot of you guys have been joining in the Facebook group that we started, Rock Painting Tutorials. And if you haven't joined yet, when you just search Facebook for it, it's a public group. My computer's being slow, so I'll keep going here. It's a public group. There are questions you need to answer in order to join the group. Go ahead and give those questions an answer and you'll get approved a lot faster. They're pretty simple. It's not a test. It's just to kind of help keep spam and people that don't really like rock painting out of the group. So we're going to get a little bit of his face on here. There we go. My computer finally refreshed over here. Make sure we're muted so I don't listen to myself talk. It's also great for me to be able to see off to the side here to make sure that I'm in frame since my camera's overhead. Does make it a little bit easier for me. So just hang in for just a second here and it's posted. Okay, so we've got our face. We're going to come in here on the beard and I'm going to take some gray to the bottom half of the beard here. And then we're going to do a little bit of shading. So just along the bottom half here, we're going to fill in with gray. And you don't have to do this. Your gnome or your elf can have just a white beard, but I like this blended look here that we have. So it's a gloomy day here, so I don't have a lot of sun coming in my window, so hopefully you guys can see just fine. Okay, so we've got the gray here on the bottom, the white at the top here. And if you're new to the videos, I'll kind of explain here. Off to the side, I just have a paper towel, and I keep a little jar of water and a pipette here next, and I just dampen my paper towel. Not super wet, just enough to add a little bit of moisture to my paintbrush. Just barely go back and forth a couple times in there just to get it a little bit wet. You don't want it to be dripping by any means. And then with a very, very light touch, we're just going to take this gray and very lightly, and I mean very lightly, barely have to touch. Just pull up just a little bit, just like so. You'll get a nice little blended edge there. You can even come back the other direction. And my white was pretty dry because I stepped away. The good thing about this though is no matter what, if you want some more white at the top, just come here and add a little bit more white. And we're going to come back in here and clean up our edges anyways. And you can also use your damp paper towel. See, so I got a little bit of gray on my tip. I just directly go onto that damp spot and look, you just kind of wipe it and it cleans it off. Just do it until you don't see that gray. And we'll come right back with our brush, and I mean light, very light. You're just barely touching and pulling. Because the more, these are water-based markers, so the more you touch it, you can end up wiping your entire beard off. And we don't want to do that. So there we go. There we go. Got a little bit of a different shape going on that one than this one, but that's okay. Kind of like it. Alrighty, now we're going to come in here and add some cheeks. Just some little rosy cheeks because, you know, they're always in the cold, right? Gnomes are outside, elves are outside. So just going to give them some nice little cheeks here. Rosy red. And we're going to give this guy a green hat. We've got a red hat on the left, So we're gonna put a green hat on the right here. This rock doesn't lay quite flat. This one's not quite like a flat rock like normal. It actually will sit like this, but he will look super cute. This is the bottom. So it'll sit like this, and it's gonna look really cute sitting on my shelf with some of my Christmas stuff. So we're just going to create our hat shape. We're gonna tip of the beard to the tip of the beard, kind of, because their hats are usually pretty snug on their heads. They're gonna cover up those ears. It's cold outside, right? And we're gonna have his hat go off this way. So you're just gonna kind of go up, and just kind of in your mind mentally picture, okay, if it's folded over, and you can kind of fold back this way if we want. It's gonna attach there. We'll just fill that in. Allie says she needs these pens. You do. I mean, they're great. I love, love, love them. They're my favorite thing to use to do rocks. Almost all the time when I'm doing rock painting, I have a little one in the house. And this makes it so at any second, if I need to get up and walk away, I just put on my lid and I don't have to worry about my paints drying out. I was the queen of leaving my palette out with paint on it, and you end up washing it all down the drain, and over time that money really adds up. So these are a little bit more expensive to buy, but I think over the long scheme of things you end up okay. I did leave a link to a set of just this tip. See, so this is considered a fine tip. It's a little bit different. I'll show you the difference in size between a fine and then this is the extra fine. This one comes to a little bit more of a point. So if you are doing some shopping and you're not sure which ones to get, this one, these are just the fine tip. There you go. Alrighty, so we'll let the green on that. You know, it's funny, I keep looking at this beard and I really like this other guy's beard so much better. So we're gonna pull this out to the side a little bit. Isn't that great? You can just change it up whenever you feel like it. Nothing's set in stone when you paint. You can always adjust. There we go. Oh, I like that shape better. Just that little change. Just a little bit. We'll go ahead and add some gray right here on top. There we go. Like so. I wanted to sneak on today. Won't be on for the weekend, crazy holiday stuff. I'm sure everybody watching's got some holiday plans. These are considered the fine tip. So the fine, that's the thing. The extra fine tip, I mean, I use those a lot for my rocks. If you look through the feed, you'll see the extra fine tip. I've done full rocks with those. These are fine tips, so I'm doing this whole thing with the fine tip. So I will be using it for outlining on this one, but it is a little bit thicker. This is the fine tip on his beard, as opposed to extra fine. Let's see if I have my black one. This is, Sandy, you're right. So that's the extra fine tip. So it's a little bit skinnier, see? And you can get a little bit more point details. Sandy, I love that. I needed that today. This is why I was having a little bit of a day and I wanted to just do something to distract myself, so I started working on this rock. And it was turning out cute, so I thought, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna hop on. Normally, I don't do rocks the first time on the video. Usually I try to have one finished and then I do a next one. Yes, Allie, the extra fine. Yes, you can use those for your lines. But I have painted full rocks with those. If you look through, I still have this guy sitting right here. We did this one with a full extra fine set. That one's in the feed from, I think, earlier this week. So we're gonna add his nose. A couple little eyes here. We're gonna give him a beard line. Okay. Now this is how you can kind of give his head some shape. If you just kind of picture where the top of his head would be, that's where you can have this little indent. And you need to come down the edge like so. And you can kind of just make like a little wrinkle there. And that just gives you that little fold over. And I know this is on a black rock, so the outline's not necessary, but I just kind of like to do it anyways. Just because you can clean up your edges if you have any mistakes, or you can change the shape just a little bit. See, I kind of want that to come to more of a point. Have that come a little bit more to a point like so. Okay. Oh, we're missing the line here. I thought something looked a little bit off. Okay. Like so. His eye's a little bit smaller. It's like putting on eyeliner. You make one a little bigger than the other a little bigger, and then back and forth and back and forth. You have fine points and love them. Yes, the fine, I use these and the extra fine probably the most. I do use my medium tips from time to time, but not very often. I think I probably have only done one video on here. So I'm just gonna come in here and just give his beard a couple little, almost like cartoon lines, I guess these are considered, just to give it some shape and dimension. But he looks like a cute little gnome or elf, whatever you want to call them. Oh, thanks, Sandy. I'm glad you like it. So that's it. That's my quick little jump on today. I just really thought, you know what, they were cheering up my day. I thought I hopefully would cheer up somebody's here. So if you do give these guys a try, please come back and leave a comment below with your picture of your, call it a gnome or an elf, whatever you decide. And I love seeing them in the comments. So make sure you come back and show off your work. So we'll see you next week. We'll put up a post over the weekend for you to show off your weekend works, and I'll be back on Monday. Thanks, Monica. You'll have to watch the replay.